Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. Somebody wants to take this vine and create this, which is a perfect square. It's 8 by 8. Well, it's not perfect. It's symmetrical. Pretty easy. But whenever I take a clip art like this, I'm going to make a duplicate. Move the duplicate over. Whoop. I must not have made a duplicate. And I am going to take, you see the yellow box. I strongly believe that if you have this selected and you take the crop tool and you crop out all the extra white, I actually think it helps Corel do this. So now it's not very big, it's only 5 inches. We're going to go, as a matter of fact, I'm going to set my nudge factor on like 6 inches. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to go to Trace Bitmap, Outline Trace Clip Art. It traces it pretty good. Say, okay, let's move our yellow box over and let's take our copy now and move it over. And you can see the white background. And also there is some gray or grays, and there's some little holes, and we're going to fix all that. So now we're going to go, let's make our yellow box even bigger. And we're going to grab it. We're going to go to Object and Group and Ungroup. And then we're going to grab a black and move it down. Look at all the trash it left. That was those gray outside leaves and the white internal. We do not need them. I'll go ahead and nudge this back up. I don't like a couple of these holes. To me, that hole shouldn't be there and that hole shouldn't be there. So what we're going to do, we're going to go left click, no fill, right click outline, and then you have to go to Object and break the curve apart. Now to continue doing this, I'm going to take my yellow box, I'm going to go to Object, Lock, and lock it. Because if I don't do it, I'll keep grabbing the yellow box. Because my curve is broken apart, now I can select that dot, and I'm going to leave that one because that would be part of the leaf, again with that one, but I don't, there's no circles in an interior branch. So that one could possibly still be there, but and it is somebody who drew it symmetrically, so it's even on both sides. So I'm going to leave that, and you could clean it up a little bit, but it really traced pretty well. So now, without doing anything else to it, we can get it over here now. Whoop! Remember, I broke the curve apart. I'm going to go ahead and group it together and then nudge it over here. I'm going to mirror it upside down because we want that part. Now, if you look, it's 5 inches across, a little bit more than 5. So I'm going to take my nudge factor and put it on 5. And I'm going to make a duplicate and nudge it and then mirror it. Not that way, this way. So now we kind of got our box. I'm going to unlock my yellow and get rid of it now. Don't need it anymore. So now what we can do is Control G to group it, Control D to duplicate it, and rotate it 90 degrees. The only problem with that, there are too many leaves that are going to be welded together. So let's set our nudge factor on like a 1/2 inch, 0.5. And let's move that up. Whoop, up. We want them just touching. Now we can grab that one and move it down. Well, those are still grouped together evidently, so we're going to go to Object, Group, and Ungroup. And those are still grouped. I grouped them, but I didn't ungroup all. So now we can take our other one. Don't worry about that the thing's not a square right now. We're just trying to get it where it'll stay together, and that'll actually work. So what we're going to do now, and see now we've got a shape of 7 by 6.6. We're going to go ahead and weld it. And well, that didn't work with a flip. Let me just start over. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a new shape with the black, bring it down. Those interior parts should weld now. So we'll set our nudge factor back on 5 inches, I think we did. Control D and move it down. mirror it the other way, grab both of them, Control G, Control D, rotate it 90 degrees. And I could have, but you didn't know how far to nudge it. So now what we're going to do, we're going to put our nudge factor on that 0.5. It's still grouped together. So this time, I'm going to grab it all. I'm going to go to Object, Group, and Ungroup All. I'm going to nudge that up. I'm going to nudge this one down. And I think it's pretty good. You could play with it a little bit. You want some of the leaves touching. So now we're going to weld it. And watch how much better the weld works now. Hopefully. Yes. Now we can double check to see what it looks like. It's going to look pretty good, I think. That's what your finished product's going to look like. Now you're going to say, well, it's 7.6 by 6.6. But what we can do with our ratio unlocked, let's go ahead and make this one 8. And then make this 8. We're stretching it a little bit. And see, as a smart field, you'll be able to see the difference. This is a square, and this would work for an elongated, like a 11 by 14 picture frame, but the person was asking to have it in a square. I bet you those two are almost truly identical, because I think I use the same nudge factor. And you could play around with these leaves, but it looks good. And then I always yellow box trick just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Order back a page. And there you have a square frame of a pretty good looking vine. Anyway, I hope that helped them a little bit. Thank you for watching.